Hey everybody, it's Tanya Smith here of Get Noticed with Video and Stream Like a Boss TV. So I'm popping in and I'm not in every location this morning. I actually kind of did this impromptu because I was hearing a lot of things about YouTube optimization, not optimization, monetization. Let's get it right. And I thought, you know what? Instead of me just reading this on my own, why don't I share it with my folks in the communities that I serve? So I'm broadcasting right now, yes, inside of YouTube, but also in my live streaming for service providers community group on Facebook, as well as on the Get Noticed with Video business page. I wanted to make sure that you all are like hearing this information and really kind of digesting and processing it for your own businesses, especially if you're thinking about doing video. So we'll see how many people show up because I did not announce this in advance, only to the group inside of Facebook. And I also am doing a couple of things differently this morning. So one thing, let's do a couple of things here. One thing I wanted to do is I always do this, to let you know that I am broadcasting using Restream today because I always get asked the question. So I have to give you that and let you know that I am using Restream. Good morning. Good morning for those of you who are coming in live. I'm using Restream for a couple of reasons. One, because I still like the platform. I know I've been using Ecamm a lot more, and I've also promoted Melon. Restream is one that I like for a couple of different reasons. One, typically the quality is pretty stable and reliable. Two, I do like the setup. It's very clean and easy for you to navigate. And three, it has been around for some time. So I do believe that they're going to be here, right? I still use it, as a matter of fact, to schedule my broadcast for Ecamm. Even though Ecamm now has this built-in streaming function, I still use Restream to do that because Restream just seems to, at this point, still be reliable. I don't run into a lot of glitchy things. And sometimes because with Ecamm, their built-in scheduler is a beta version, it's still in testing. Sometimes I found a couple of little things happening that I didn't expect. So I wanted to test it out to give you some scoop on anything that I see in here that's new. I do see one thing that I'll mention to you in a short bit, but also just to keep on top of the latest and greatest streaming platforms so I can recommend the best one for you. So if Restream potentially is one that you've been thinking about, I still think that it is a good go-to. Melon, of course, is still a good competitor because of all the, I'll say, unique features that they have. And then Be Live is another one as well, in addition to StreamYard, which I think just about everybody knows about. Anywho, that's where I am. That's what I'm using. So let's dive into what I wanted to talk about. I will give you a couple of really quick updates first, but then you and I are going to watch this video. It's a 7 minute and 38-second video. We're going to try to watch it together. I've never done this before, but I'm going to share the video and then just get your reactions afterwards. If you happen to be in here and you have reactions, or even if you're watching the replay and you have reactions, this is a video that was done by one of the people that I follow, and I love listening to him, Roberto Blake, who is a YouTube creator and just a guru as it relates to all things YouTube and video. So I love his style and how real he is when he talks about different things that are happening. And he's very cerebral. So he thinks through intelligently, like, what does this mean? I know all these changes are happening, but what does this mean? So I'm going to share the video and we'll watch it together if you happen to be here. And if you're not, you can watch it on replay. Here's one thing I'm going to double check because, like I said, I've had some quality issues here recently, but it's only with certain apps. So I am curious to see and to make sure that this is actually working out well. If you happen to be here, and if you're not, you can watch it on replay. Curious to see and to make make sure that this is actually working out. Looks like it's coming through clear. You probably heard me in stereo just now, but I wanted to test to make sure that you could hear and see. Okay, so couple of really quick announcements and then I'll dive into sharing this video and we'll watch it together on the new YouTube monetization requirements. There are two people that I like to follow for news. Actually, there's a lot more. I have a whole list. But a couple of people that I want to share with you today. One is Matt Navarra on Twitter, and the other is Roberto Blake on YouTube. And so I want to explore a couple of things that I read from them both this past week that I thought were interesting. One's going to be on YouTube itself, which impacts TikTok. We're going to talk about that connection. The second thing is going to be that there's been some updates to Instagram as well. And I think Matt covers that. So I'll show you both of those in just a second. The only thing I want to mention in regards to Stream Bosses Academy and Get Noticed with Video. Hey there. Good morning. I see somebody. Let me see if I can show your. Yes, I can see you, but I can't see you. So I probably need to give you my fancy dancy link so that I can see your face. Let's see. Ah, I don't have that added in here. I will do it next time, I promise. This Dee Dee. What's up, girl? How you doing? Happy Friday. All right. So I will, if more people start showing up, I may do a chat overlay so we can see the scrolling screen. But again, I didn't give anybody an announcement ahead of time on this. I just had time today. And I also wanted to explore these concepts, these things that are happening in the video space. So if you're on YouTube, if you're on, I know, girl. Yes, yes, yes. I'm glad you're here. If you are on YouTube or on Facebook, those are the only two places you can see me right now because I'm not broadcasting in every space everywhere. Okay, Stream Bosses Academy. That's the number one announcement I wanted to give about my stuff. And that is initially my goal was to relaunch September 26th. I realized that I had a jam packed month and I could have tried to push it and rush it and make it happen, but I really haven't communicated anything at all about it. So I'm going to offer this. If you're in my community, especially if you're hearing the sound of my voice right now, you're an insider. So know that because this is not going to everybody everywhere. But if you are listening to this, you're watching this right now, and you are interested in becoming a part of Stream Bosses Academy, but yet you haven't seen my fancy dancy launch stuff and testimonials and bunches of posts, please just reach out to me, just DM and let me know I'm interested. That way you and I can have a quick talk. I'll just set up a chat. We'll talk about it. I'll share with you what we got going on and what we do. You'll have access to the actual public webpage, which is at streambosses.academy. But right now, it's not going to have, and that's even an old date. It's not going to have the proper dates on it. So let me put if you want to learn more, how about that? We'll do that. If you want to learn more about Stream Boss Academy, you can go to this page and just DM me because I am not in this moment prepared to do a huge or even small launch. There's just 1,000 things going on that are priority. One of which is I want to make sure that I get this new quiz up and running that I shared with you is going to be taking place. That's going to be helpful to you whether you're in a paid program or not with me, because my goal is for you to be able to see, here's where I am. This is what how ready or not I am. And this is what I need to do to get ready. And that has taken a lot of time and effort. And with me right now being solo and looking to bring in outsourced team members, it just became overwhelming. So I could have pushed it through and made it do what it do. I'm not going to do that to you. I don't want to just totally bombard you with a bunch of sales emails and posts. So instead, I've decided to give myself permission and grace to step back and to do it correctly. But if you are interested and you want to be here, just holler at me through DM and say, Tanya, I want to be a part of the academy, but I need to know more. And let's set up a chat, a one-on-one call, and I'll talk to you about that and tell you what we're up to. Okay, enough of that. The only other thing that I will mention for me on my end, beside before we go into this video, is I want to share a little bit about yesterday. Oh my goodness. Y'all, I had the most amazing experience with the Shoot and Shadow tour. Milton Lawrence Jr., if you're not following, and especially if you're a woman of color who is a creator or an entrepreneur of any kind, and you want to learn how to use more visual and media to specifically images and video clips, okay? If you want to use more of that, but you just don't feel confident and comfortable posing, and you don't need or want to at this time hire a professional photographer, he hosts something called Selfie Snob Academy that is year round. And that's an incredible option for you too. With the Shoot and Shadow tour, he came to Dallas, and all of us, the ladies that were there, was a small, intimate group, and we learned so much. And he honestly kind of affirmed for me one of the things that I just mentioned to you about sometimes stepping back and not just always trying to make things go. I knew I wanted to relaunch Stream Bosses Academy and open up enrollment. I knew I wanted to do that October 6th, but realistically, it doesn't make sense. And so one of the pieces of advice I got from him yesterday, there were so many, but after we all had a hot seat and after I did my hot seat, his response to me was, do less. It was so simple, but it was like light bulb, the light bulb went off. And it just affirmed what I had already been thinking. And sometimes we force ourselves into being overwhelmed. We act like overwhelm is happening to us, but much of the time we are creating the overwhelm because of the decisions we make. So I just want you to know that is the reason why I'm pulling back a little bit, because there are 1,000 things happening, and it's probably the same for you. Think about how you can make sure you're managing your time and you're not overwhelming yourself to the point of burnout, because it's easy to do with content. Another thing he said was content is not king. He said the person making money from your content is the king. That's deep. Think about that. So the content itself, that's not the king. But if you're making money, or if you're letting someone else or some other platform make the money and you're not, you really need to reconsider your strategy. That was deep to me. That was like gold. That was just, these are two of so many other things that we learned in this program, which was all day yesterday, but it was wonderful. So I just wanted to share those tidbits. And now that I've been talking about making money and monetization, let's go ahead and pull up this little video because I want to share it with you, and let's watch it together. It's only 7 minutes, but I think we should talk about it. I want you to hear it directly from Roberto, because I feel like he is the most equipped, the best equipped to be able to share this with you. So I think that this is on share audio. I want to double check here. I'm going to make it bigger. We'll just do it this way. And let's play it. If you can't hear it, let me know in the comments. I'm watching the comments. But I want to try to see if we can. I'm going to mute myself, and I want to try to see if we can hear Roberto. How about that? Okay, here we go. Let me back it up because you need to see this whole 7 minutes, y'all. Okay.
YouTube just announced sweeping changes across the entire platform when it comes to YouTube Shorts, YouTube monetization and the partner program, a new lower tier of requirements to monetize on YouTube, and changes to copyright and how it affects music content here on the platform. So today, I'm going to give you a breakdown of these new changes and what you can expect as a content creator and all the updates to YouTube monetization and YouTube Shorts. Let's start with YouTube Shorts monetization. Up until now, the YouTube Shorts Fund has been the only way to monetize your YouTube Shorts content. This is going to be changing with big sweeping changes for the first quarter of 2023. The most important part for you is that YouTube Shorts will now receive ads similar to regular YouTube content. And unlike regular YouTube content, this will be a 45-55, but it is a little bit different. It's also important to note that YouTube is going to be separating shorts on your individual YouTube homepages. So you will have your own shorts tab and people can scroll only on your own shorts feed for that. There'll also be the general shorts feed that we're currently used to, and ads will display in both of these instances. Here is where the 45-55 split for creators comes in, and you need to know this information. Shorts creators will get paid out of a 45% pool of all the ad revenue generated during the session that their shorts are watched in, which means that this 45% of all the ad revenue generated will be split amongst those shorts creators during that time. However, if somebody is watching only your shorts for your YouTube channel, then you will keep all the 45% of the ad revenue when they're only watching your shorts back to back and receive ads. So I know this is a little bit complicated, but that's how it is. If you have more questions, I'll try and answer them in the comment section. You also might be wondering, why is it 45% for the creator and 55% that YouTube keeps? Well, the difference on that is that they're using this for some compensation to the music labels to allow us to have music on YouTube Shorts, which is also going to be expanded. You're going to be able to use 60 seconds of music from the YouTube Music Library when it comes to your YouTube Shorts. YouTube Music Library is also extending when it comes to some of your regular videos. You're going to be able to buy licensing on your regular videos for YouTube's music, and that is going to give you some more options to be fully monetized. You can either buy the license and then you keep all of the ad revenue generated on your regular videos, or if you don't buy a license, you could do a rev sharing option with the rights holders. And if you do that rev sharing option, after YouTube splits it 55-45, the 55% that's left over will be divided in half again between the content creator and the rights holder, typically the music labels. Obviously, this is a big change from what we've had in the past when it comes.
I'm gonna pause right there. You may not watch I don't think we should watch the whole thing, but what I'm gonna do is I'm going to provide you with a link to the full video. Here's why. There were a lot of complex things going on in this particular video, and what he's talking about when Roberto is talking about revenue sharing, what he's doing, remember I said he's kinda cerebral? He's literally breaking down exactly how you get paid, what you will want to know. Let me give you my plain English version of what I'm hearing and what I think is happening here. And I'm also going to share with you, I have a couple of other links that I want to pull up because I thought this is really interesting. Part of the reason that YouTube is expanding their partner program, there's a couple of things. One, they have recognized the power of TikTok and shorts. Now, years ago, when I was focused on snack size marketing, that was my brand. It was called Snack Size Marketing. Lord, if I had that brand today, I probably would be like a multimillionaire. But the reason why I focused on it then is I think the reason why a lot of these spaces are focusing on it right now. The attention spans of so many people have been incredibly shortened, right? Now, is that a good thing? I don't know if it's good or bad. I'm not going to label it in that way. I'm just going to say that it's a fact. And what's happened is the way in which we're creating video content and other types of content is designed to beat back the noise and to give people quick hitter snippets and information that they will consume because otherwise they may not feel like they have time to consume it. So it's got to capture attention quickly. It's got to move fast. Even though I like doing these longer videos through live streaming, I know my focus. My focus is to engage and connect and to have more deeper conversations and to also try to simplify some of the stuff that is more complicated out there relative to video. But I see that YouTube basically is, and there's an article I'm going to show you. Yes, yes, yes. YouTube is targeting TikTok with revenue sharing for shorts and partner program expansion. So here's the gist of it. YouTube is doing what YouTube does. YouTube does video very well. And for a long time, creators have gotten a little iffy about, well, how is this working for me? Why should I stay on your platform when I can go on TikTok and get multi, millions of views versus staying on the YouTube platform just out of loyalty. So what they're doing is they're positioning to be more competitive and to say, you know what, we're going to start rewarding people for staying on our platform and doing these shorts, the same type of short videos they're creating over on TikTok. We have the infrastructure because we've been doing video for a lot longer. We meaning YouTube and Google. And so we're going to put in place some things that will be carrots for people to stay here. The thing is, Facebook, Instagram Reels, all of these spaces are getting into the shorts game, and we have to figure out as creators and entrepreneurs, how do we get our stuff seen? How do we also join in without, again, getting overwhelmed by all the changes and, somebody saying, "Squirrel, go here. Squirrel, go over here. Squirrel, go." What I would suggest is that you really study and think about the best platform for you by considering a couple of things. One, what kind of content do you share? Two, who is it that you want to share it to? And three, is that audience actually in the space that you want to share it to and share it with? Where are they? Where's your audience? I personally think that I'm starting to move, and I've said this before, move more into the YouTube space for a couple of reasons. One, because of the longevity of YouTube, but also because now these monetization options really they make it, um, they make it more attractive. They make it more attractive to me. But the other thing I'm also seeing is TikTok is fighting back. So watch this. I'm going to show you Matt's note note about the fact that they're doing some things with AI in the TikTok space, and I am not a TikTok guru at all, but they're almost becoming or their aim is to become a search destination, which is pretty much what YouTube is. If you're searching for how to do something or you're searching for some information or content, most of the time you're pulling up a video on YouTube. That's what I do when I need to learn how to do something. If it's something around the house, if it's something with my car, if it's how to cook a certain recipe, I'm looking on YouTube. It's a huge search engine. Well, let me show you what I saw about TikTok. I'm going to pull this up. Let me try to share it this way. This I thought was very intriguing. Look, this says, whoa, TikTok has increased video description character limit to 2,200 characters. This is huge for creators and massive in terms of TikTok's plans for becoming a search engine. So each of them have these battles, right, for your attention and time. Meta slash Facebook also they're in the game too with Reels. But I think people get frustrated with things like today. I couldn't do any Facebook announcements for my stream that I'm doing right now. Why is it always so glitchy? And I swear to you, if I hear one more person say they ended up getting hacked on Instagram or Facebook and had to start all over from scratch, oh my goodness. Yes, this can happen on any platform, but good grief, it keeps happening in the meta space. Why is that? Until they can get their stuff together, I think that we're going to constantly see this hemorrhaging that's happening where people are leaving, creators and entrepreneurs are leaving. The other thing, the reason why I started building Stream Bosses Academy off of Facebook and not in a Facebook group itself, and there's other things I'm building off of this group too, is because I've heard more people talking about the fact that their groups got taken over by a hacker or their groups were shut down and they can't get any response as to why. It was legitimate content. So these are creating issues for Meta. If I were to tell you the two that were really in the game as it relates to shorts and video, I think TikTok and YouTube, those are the ones that we want to really, really pay attention to right now. Yes, LinkedIn has its tribe as well, but I can't include them in the live video game because honestly, I still think there's a lot of work that's going to have to be done over there for it to be more attractive to people who are business streamers like myself. There's some things over there that are disconnects for me in terms of live streaming. Notice I chose two spaces to go live on here. And if I had access to TikTok live yet, I'd be over there too. But yeah, I didn't choose LinkedIn today for a reason. I won't dive too deep into that right now. But here's what I want to say. So this he says TikTok's previous character limit was 150, then it was increased to 300 characters, and now it's 2,200. So think about that. When you start, and this is a comment I thought was interesting too from Connie Chan. She said, I wrote about what happens when TikTok US becomes a search destination. So she's talking in terms of security concerns, but she says if it overtakes Google, Yelp, and map searches, there's no need to guess what it would look like. I'm going to go and read this article because I want to understand that. But what I'm gathering is that there definitely is a game at play. And what we as creators need to do is to figure out, how do I create video content that most importantly brings me joy? If it's not joyful anymore for you, then you may need to stop doing social media or content altogether. Let's just be real. I'm going to say that because I heard some things this past week from a few people that made me ask, are they really even happy doing this anymore? Are they happy in the occupation of choice? So, first and foremost, does the content make you happy? Does doing and creating the content make you happy? If it doesn't, you don't need to do it. Number two, is the content getting attention from the people that you really want to reach? From the audience that you say is who you want to serve? And number three, is it, are you creating the content in such a way that it's efficient? Are you streamlining it? So that's where I see our biggest trip is. Yes, I get it. I think that's you still, Dee Dee. Had to pause for a minute, but realize you do love live video. I love it for so many different reasons. I really do. But the thing is, and yeah, I think that the short form video content, we have to keep it in its place, meaning that it's about driving visibility from people who normally would not have seen our stuff. But then we got to give them, once they get to our stuff, to our home, then we got to give them what else they need and want, right? So that's why I still do the longer videos and why I do the live, because you all have come as a result of maybe some short form video content or other things that you saw me do, but you stay because you're still getting the encouragement, you're still getting the motivation, you're still getting the education, hopefully. Okay, so you got to be thinking about, for yourself and your own business strategy, how do I create content that's going to help me get visible? And that's going to be in those short form spaces. And if you create it, then you need to know that you should be making it in a way that allows you to cross pollinate right now, because we don't know who's going to end up the winner yet. So you need to be able to make content, for instance, that could be broadcast or not broadcast, but uploaded to YouTube Shorts, to TikTok, and to Reels. That's my strategy right now. I'm going to put it in all three places. Now, what I'm not going to do is to have the brand of one on my video when I place it on another brand. So meaning I don't want to have my TikTok logo be on the video that I put on Reels. That's something we want to kind of watch for. But you still create your content without any of their stuff on it. You upload it to all three of those spaces, because we're watching to see and we're paying attention to who is going to come out on top and who's going to be here for the long-term game. We just need to pay attention. So that's what I'm trying to help you do in these office hours. Okay. One other thing I saw in Matt's space here that I wanted to share with you, because I thought this was interesting too. Gosh, there's always some really good stuff on his feed. Yeah, don't want that one. Hold on one second. I'm coming. Here it is. I wanted to kind of pay attention to this particular article. So let's see if we can pull it up. I don't know how. There we go. Okay, so that's a little bigger. So YouTube launches beta test of Super Thanks. Beta test of Super Thanks in Shorts. Hey, David. What's up, man? She said, don't leave evidence. That's funny. Okay, so here, I'm going to click on this article and let's kind of take a look and see what they're talking about in here. But as you can see, a lot of the updates around the video space have to do with both. I'm seeing a lot, and I'm really watching for these, watching for YouTube and watching for TikTok to see where things end up. But as you're playing, don't put yourself in a pigeonhole to where your content is only in one space and now it's not being seen where it needs to be seen in the other spaces. Try to create content that will be, as you mentioned, Dee Dee, evergreen too. But I also try to create currently trending content. For some reason, social media today is not pulling up. I'm not sure why. I did notice that there was some internet issues earlier, not for me, but for various sites. So it may be their server. So I'm going to go ahead and take that down for now, and we'll switch back if it does pop up while I'm talking. I'll find out more about that one. If anybody has questions, feel free to pop those into the chat, and I'll be happy to answer whatever I can. Someone emailed me, Chocolate and Quilts, I think it was, emailed me. So this is for you. You emailed and asked me a question about who created my lovely graphics that I use on my Thursday live streams. And that would be JP High Tech. So I'm going to put that right here for you. Look, I love when you all send me notes and DMs and messages and things like that. Please try to attend or at least scan through some of the videos and be a part of the community so you can ask questions in there, because it can get overwhelming. I don't read my emails nearly as timely as I would like to. And it's tough for me to respond to emails as quickly as I can through DMs and here inside of our groups, our community spaces. So please just know I'm not trying to ignore you. It's just that I literally am running a full shop and there's a lot that comes with that. So I'm going to put JP's information. That's my guy, my go-to. You can look him up here, JP High Tech Reviews on YouTube. So I'm going to try to add this banner real quick for Miss Chocolate and Quilts. It's right here, JP High Tech Reviews. That should say on YouTube. I don't know. I can't write today. I don't see any questions, but I'm going to double check real quick here in the chat just to make sure I don't miss anything. Ah, it popped up, y'all. I think it did at least. Let me try to show you this and see if this is the correct article. It just took a minute for some reason. And I will pop the link to Roberto's video in here in the description as well in case you need that. You're so welcome. He Spoke Fashion. What up? What up? What up? He Spoke Fashion. I have not seen you before, so welcome. Welcome to the channel. I appreciate you being here. Look, the main thing, if you don't get anything that I'm saying or you haven't really heard me at all this whole last 30 minutes, the number one message I want to give to you is this, and that is be ready to move with your content at all times. Because if you are an entrepreneur who wants to be visible using video, the bar keeps moving. Things keep changing.